Hello there, fans of Gigantic. Welcome back to another special video, I suppose. Today I want to go through the new game mode called Rush, which is the only mode we've been able to test in the new version of the game. But for those of you who are new, or maybe returning players for that matter, Rush is a simplified version of Clash, which is the original game mode, and is meant to, get you a decent, an easier start into the game, essentially, like learning game, learning ropes and all the heroes and such, so you don't have to worry about the complexity of Clash. You can go into Rush, have a quick game, and you're done, essentially. So I've had games that are like 2.5 minutes. That's a complete stomp. Most games are like 5 to 10 minutes, roughly. So in any case, when you join a match, you start an airship. I'm playing this offline, but we'll see how it goes. You start an airship. There is an actual tutorial, so when you start playing the game, you will be playing a basic tutorial and Rush and all that, but I figured I'd go through it anyway. So, we're on the airship right now. Normally, you would have your teammates to the left and to the right, so you can see, what they are picking. You can also not, you can't pick the same hero, so if someone's picked, like Roland, which I know these are not released. We do have the 2 heroes that haven't been released. I will not do videos of them right now, but if someone picks Roland, you can't pick Roland. So, yes, the attack roll is still a thing. Oh well. So yeah, you pick your hero. You can see all the stats here, name, how, offense, defense, and all that. If you want to balance it according to what your team is picking, I would recommend doing that. On the right, you have all the skills of that hero. And you always start an airship. Whenever you are on the airship, you can change your hero. So if you die and you spawn, you can actually change it. So you can change your hero and build, which we'll get to. But let's have a look at the how the heroes are split up in this screen. So I'm gonna just remove myself because I'm in the way. Oh, I'm gone. So in this screen here, on the left side, we have damage dealers with ranged capabilities, right? So ranged damage dealers. All these are ranged. If you want to play that, they're all on the left side. And here in the middle, you have all the annoying assassins. Some of these have like duplicate roles or multiple roles. Like Ramsey is a melee DPS, frontliner. He's a fighter. But these are assassins, right? I count them all as assassins, but they're really not. But that's how I see them as. Then after that, we have the frontliners, which I like to call them, which are, heroes that can really push. So you have Margaret, who's quite tanky. You have Gnosis, who's pretty disgusting with the bleed build. You have Rutger, who can control the fights pretty decently and quite tanky as well. And then Paco, that's just a lot of fun to slide around on your butt. Or roll around, because why not? And then on the right you have support heroes. So if you like to heal your teammates, maybe you like to buff them, you like to support your team, you can play these heroes, except for Grandma. Grandma's a meme. No, but okay, she is, you really have to know what you're doing if you want to play Grandma. But she's quite unique, I would say. Pretty crazily unique in that sense. So yeah, you pick your heroes here, and as soon as you feel like, yeah, I picked the one that I want. Like, I want to play Beckett. You can pick auto upgrades if you want to do that. You don't have to worry about that most of the time, I would say. But what you should consider here is when you pick your hero, before you press ready, is to pick your build. Okay, so you can change your build when you're outside of a match, right? You can go into the menu, which we'll get to that in a different video. But for this sake, you always have 2 builds that are already pre-made, right? So each hero has 2 pre-made builds, and you just pick one, essentially. And they've done a really good job of mixing it up, I feel. You can make your own builds in the menu itself, outside of the game. Or a match rather, and you can mix and match, which gets even more important in Clash, I would say, but in Clash I would not do auto upgrades for builds. I would rather react to what's happening in the match, but that's just me. But in any case, we have picked Beckett here. Beckett is really fun. I really like this character. We have two builds here. We have close range. So if you like to get up in the face of people with a ranged character for some reason, you can click the close range. You can see what all the upgrades will be during this. Or you can go critic overwatch, which is you want to stay at ranged. So close range, long range. So I guess let's do long range, I guess. Yeah, let's do that. Alright, so just ready here. So now the fight starts. We all spawn on the airship. As you can see, this is a safe area. You cannot use your abilities. You can't be killed here, as far as I know. As far as I know. And you pick one of these launch pads. Depending on which launch pad you pick, you will land in different areas. So if I pick the left launch pad, I would have landed up here, which is closer to this point, which is A on this side. So this one, if I pick the right one, I would land towards B, which means you can see this line here, which means you'll land close to this area. You can use this ramp. Maybe they're attacking, you know, depending on what's happening in a match, right? You can pick which launch pad makes the most sense if you. As soon as you land, you can be targeted, so be careful of that. But essentially, the whole game mode of Rush now is all about it's all about power, right? So power is the actually not allowed to use my control. Interesting. The power bar is below the health bar. So we have the blue health bar on the left of the My Guardian, which is this massive creature here. This owl. So the profile picture, or the picture of this owl, is at the top of the UI. The blue bar is the health for My Guardian, and the red is the opposite team's Guardian, which is waiting right over there, over yonder. The goal here is to obviously reduce the health of the enemy Guardian. To do that, you need power. So power comes from killing enemies and grabbing power orbs. Now the amount of power we'll get to, it will be very visible on the UI. So a power orb are these, I guess, gold or yellowish circles you can see on these points. So it says right here, collect power orb. So if I hold down my number 4 button here, which I know is a weird button, but it's what it is. And now I collected 20 power. Right. You can see underneath the health bar of My Guardian, there's a massive, a new massive yellow diamond sort of shape that shows we have managed to grab one or a double set essentially of power, because kills in this game only grant 10 power. So a point is worth more than kills, unless you stomp a team, I guess. It's quite, then it's pretty obvious. So during a match, you've probably seen this in my videos, there's a lot of, it's kind of like King of the Hill or tug of war sort of situation, right? Because there is a point, this is Canyon, or that's the internal name. This is a middle point, right? This is extremely contested all the time, pretty much. And all of the levels have this, but you can easily invade. Like they're obviously the levels are mirrored, so you could go here. If you're fighting over the middle point, you could easily invade the enemy. And I'll just grab this orb because they're really over there. So power orbs are prio, I would say.
No sweat.
Always
I got it.
fighting around them, poking, doing everything you can. And an important note is when someone grabs a power orb, right, while I'm doing this, it's a channel, which means if there's any sort of interrupt, if there's a thing that pushes me or knocks me up or stuns me, right, any sort of CC in that sense, it pushes me back as well if I think of Zenobia. Any sort of CC in that sense will interrupt this, right? So you have like a tiny amount of time, like a time frame to actually interrupt this. And I do this, I try and do this a lot in my videos. You've probably seen that, at least especially for like Uncle Sven matches, putting the puddle, like the ooze on the ground, because that I know is a guaranteed interrupt most of the time. So remember to, if you're a ranged character like I am, Beckett, Beckett is also very agile, so I try to, in this case I would stay ranged, obviously, poke this as much as I can. I don't really have an interrupt on Beckett. I believe, I'm not sure if this build has it.
Later, boys.
No, I think it's the other one. Okay. There's an upgrade for Beckett that makes you like shoot forward. I believe she used to have a pushback, but I'm not sure if we still have it, because I can't check right now. Yeah, so power, very important. What you have to do is gather 100 power before the enemy team does. And when you do that, your guardian will attack. Now, in Rush, there are a few things that are different, especially if you're a returning player, right? First of all, overall, the maps have been updated, right? You probably already noticed if you know Canyon. In Canyon, they added these pillars here, which was very much needed for line of sight and such. But a lot of new art has been added, and it looks really nice in general for all the levels, I would say. But another thing for returning players, there's only one wound, and this is not important if you're new, but essentially the Guardians only have one full health bar. That is not the case in Clash, which is why the games are longer in Clash and more interesting. One reason, or more. But we'll get to that when we get to Clash at some point. So yeah, we're playing the match. We're grabbing power. We're getting power from kills. We're poking our enemies. We're interrupting them. You know, we're making sure that we get the power that we need, which is 100. So I have 80 now. So if I grab this one, it will mean that my Guardian has gained 100 power, and now we prepare to attack against the Guardian. You can see on the enemy Guardian's HP how much will be removed. You have a countdown timer, and this is very important. Make sure that you're ready to push here. You need to read the situation, but make sure you are ready to push. You have the health, you're moved up, maybe poke the enemy down in health. This Guardian is now vulnerable. It's being pushed down, the head is pushed down. You have this massive weak spot here. So if you focus this, you do damage. You see the health going down. Very slowly, but it is going down. And now it's over, right? The attack is over. The Guardian will get back up, and you want to run away, preferably earlier than, you know, depends on the situation, right? But you don't want to stay here when the Guardian comes back up, because the Guardian will attack you. So if you get close, the Guardian will attack you. So, and they're pretty good at tracking you and attacking you. So we're essentially, this is what we're gonna get back to what we were doing before the attack, right? What normally happens is that one of the teams tends to have been wiped out during an attack or defense or whatever it is, and as soon as the countdown is over, it starts. On this map, it always tends to start with the middle point, so you never really get this. The respawn timer is quite low for players, so you never really tend to get this situation where it feels unfair because the time or the countdown for this middle point in this case hasn't started. So you can kind of reset in a way for the next round. So
Engaging.
So we're gonna keep doing what we're doing. We're gonna keep fighting, collecting the power orbs, attack, and then once the garden has, well, reached the the portion of the UI here, which is the heart, right? When it reaches that heart, it's pretty much over. So,
I'll nab this
and
one.
with one wound, as I said, it's pretty damn quick. So now
No sweat.
there are a few
I got
things, map specific things for Canyon, or rather all the maps. Right now they always have 2 bloomers on the first 2 points on each side. So bloomers are healers. So if you look at the A and B point here, you can see there's like a typical like healing sign. So these are the big bloomers, the summer bloomers. These are healers, right? So if you have a support, or maybe the support is busy, or you can't get healed, or whatever, right? Maybe you don't have a support at all, and you need to get healed. You can always fall back to these creatures here. Now, there's a very shiny thing around this creature, and that is a shield. So essentially, what that means is, as long as the shield is up, it cannot be damaged, right? And this is mostly, I'd say, to prevent ranged enemies or ranged players to cheese the creatures from afar. So like nothing will actually go through the shield. So what you have to do when you attack an enemy bloomer is to get within range. And when you are within range, it's going to try and attack you, which means that the shield is gone. See, now the shield is gone, I can actually attack the bloomer. Now, I would say in Rush, what I noticed is not so common to actually attack the creatures. It has happened. See, it deals a lot of damage. It does happen, and it does give you power. So I mean, it is definitely viable to do that, and obviously distract the enemy team too, if that is your intention. Now, a change from Clash here that's important to know is that when a creature dies, so if I kill this bloomer here, it will actually respawn, and it will respawn as a summer bloomer again. So I mean, you get rid of it temporarily and you get power from it, but it will come back. That's how it works. Which is not the case in Clash. But like I said, we'll get to that in the Clash video. So another thing here, which you probably noticed, and talked about, are these things. These are exactly what you think they are. They are health pickups. They are extremely valuable and useful, and I would say it's a very good idea to learn where these spawn. Now, if you want to be extreme or try hard, I guess, you can also track these in your head, essentially, where it's like, okay, like how long does it actually take for them to respawn, and oh, this, like a teammate picked this one up, so if I have to fall back, I need to take this one. So there are a lot of these healers around. Now, alright. One important note when it comes to these
Time for some
is
finesse.
that the enemy healing, like these, I don't know what they're actually officially called, but the enemy type, the healing thing here, cannot be picked up. Right? You can see it's actually like grayed out for you. So you can't just run around and grab the enemy heals. You can only grab your own. Now if I collect this power orb here, it should give us another attack. Now if I attack garden, right? Do anything, because I'm pickling this garden. So we gotta wait, we got 10 seconds to attack. Our garden also does some attacks while flying over here, which is really nice to really give you that push. Another thing that happens is that everyone is team. So you gotta like remember that when there's a push coming, you have increased movement speed and everything. It's like it's really trying to get you to do a push essentially. Oh, I think I missed my focus. It was like behind or in the head. It was weird. Another thing with I keep calling Canyon because that's what I'm used to calling it. Another really special thing, or you see this in most maps I suppose, but you have these pits. Essentially you can what we call cliff people, so you can push people off on each side. So you know it is mirrored, so you can do it on both sides. You can push people off. You can, if you play Woo, which I will make a video on, you can actually use an ability on Woo that pulls people, which is absolutely hilarious. It's probably an old compilation of this somewhere. But yeah, it's actually very useful because I've seen a lot of people, same in the recent beta as well. A lot of people tend to stick to this side when they're defending this point on their side.
I'll nab
So
this one.
if that is the case, remember that you can knock them off the map, and that is essentially a free kill.
Got the orb, getting out.
And you get the power, some extra power from that. Now this map, the new version here, has a lot more. I'd say it's a lot more close quarter than it used to be.
Got it.
They've added quite a lot of things to help with line of sight and a lot of poking and such. Like I said, these middle pillars didn't used to be here. They have been added in this version, I believe.
I'll nab this one.
Looking at old footage as well, they were not here. So
No
I guess we'll try and get the next push, and I think we can finish this map up right now. Now I picked this map because it's, in my opinion, one of the most fun maps to play. I would say, at least in Rush, I would say it fits. Rush fits very well.
Engaging.
That's why I picked this. But the tutorial, so the official tutorial, will be playing for Rush.
Got the orb, getting out.
Uses this map as well. When you do that tutorial, or when you play that, you will be playing with bots. But you don't have to worry about it. It's actually quite easy. It's not touched at all. Here you can see there's like no health left. I want to get down to this part. Or I think it's because that's what I picked. Yeah, there you go. But yeah, that is, wow, wow, I'm level 49 apparently. Yeah, so I'm playing offline, that's why, this stuff looks weird. Looks so strange, essentially. Yeah. That is, I think that's pretty much it, all that I have for Rush. Like I said, there is a tutorial and everything, so don't worry about that. I just wanted to make sure that I was to bring up some points that really don't show up in a tutorial, some things to think about. And yeah, remember, if you're a returning player, Rush is quite different, but I'd say it's a great game mode. I think it's a good addition, and as they said in the developer video, it was actually planned back in the day but never added. So yeah, I think it works really well. So there you go. I hope this video helps. If you guys have any other ideas for videos you would like to see, leave a comment, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time.